welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, my name is Muiza and you're welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a story time. I'm going to tell you guys about when I did have a breast lump, right? It was a very traumatic and scary experience. So I'm going to be telling you guys, it's going to be like a very short story because it's not something that's very, And yeah, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please just hit the subscribe button and put on your notification, turn on your post notifications so you can be notified whenever I put out new videos. Please give this video a thumbs up before we get into it. And yeah, let's get into the video. Alright, so if you do not know what breast lumps are, they're like tissues that grow in the breast, and you just know that they're not supposed to be there. Sometimes they're like firm and rigid, and when you just feel it, you know that this does not belong here, right?
I don't belong here. I don't think I belong here.
And at that point in my life where it happened, I had heard a lot of stories about people having breast lumps, people having to have, like, they needed surgery to take them out. I knew so many people like that, family members, friends. Even at that point, somebody in my set had something like an issue related to the breast, and she had to have, it was just really scary, the sound of having like a lump in your breast, right? I was in SS2. In SS2, they had taught us about, I was going to SS2, I just finished SS1, but at that point they had taught us about breast lumps. They had taught us about having breast lumps. They had taught us about the dangers, how to check for lumps and all of those stuff. So I knew how to do all of those, and I knew how scary, how dangerous it was to have a lump in your breast. So now that day I got to school, and then at night, I was in a boarding school, mind you, and then at night I started to feel something like a very sharp, my breast was just, I think it was this right one, and it was just really hurting, it was really aching me, and I'm like, what's happening? Then I checked. I was just checking randomly, because I feel like that was even like the reason why I found out that something was wrong early, because sorry. So there are some lumps that you will not feel at all unless you actually just decide to check, but this one was really hurting, so I knew that something was wrong. I knew that something was there, so I checked, right? At that point I had just two friends, so I told them, and they checked. I think the most annoying part of this whole story was the part where everybody I told literally had to check my breast to see that there was actually something wrong. So they checked, and they were like, okay, they could really feel something, and that there was something wrong, and it was just really aching, and I could not do much about it. I was already crying in my head. I'm like, am I going to have surgery? Am I going to have it taken out? Am I going to have to cut off my breast? Is it cancer? What's going to happen to me? If they cut it off, what's going to be left? No, tell me.
Satani, Olúwa bá ọ wí dẹ̀yìn lẹ́yìn mi. Dẹ̀yìn Satani dẹ̀yìn lẹ́yìn mi o.
So it was just really scary, and so many things were just coming to my head. It was in the evening. I couldn't really do much about it. People were sleeping, and I was just there like thinking about my life, and like, how did this happen to me? Why me?
What have I done with myself? What have I done with myself?
So now I'm like, okay, let's just calm down, let me sleep. If I wake up tomorrow and it's still there, then we'll find solution to the problem. And then I just believed that automatically when I woke up in the morning it would have gone, right? That was what I was hoping for. So I think that night I even had to sleep on my back because I could not sleep on my chest. I was just really in pain, right? And it was very bad. So now the next morning came, I woke up, I checked my breast, and I saw that it was still there. It was not hurting as much as it was like before, but it was still there. I could still feel it, and I just knew that, okay, I needed to tell somebody. So at that point I sneaked my phone into school. So I went downstairs, I left the hostel, I went to one corner, I went to call my mom. I think my mom was not picking, so I called my dad, and I was really crying because I was scared. I knew many people that had to go through surgeries, you guys, like my friends, my family, and I was just really scared. So many things were on my mind, and my mind was just all over because I was just blabbing when I called my dad. I was like, I want to talk to mommy, because I was really shy and I did not know what to say to him. Like, how did I tell him that, okay? At that point it was just really, I was just really shy about the whole thing, and it was like, what was wrong that my mom was not there? I should tell him what happened, because he probably heard the way I was sounding, and I'm like, okay, yesterday I found a lump in my breast. I don't know what it is, blah 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 blah. And I was really scared and I was crying. And I was like, don't worry, just calm down. Nothing is going to happen. Like, I should just, calm down. You'll come to school to pick me. This happened. I started feeling the pain on a Thursday night. I called my dad on Friday morning, and then he said he was going to come next day. That was Saturday, because I think I was having classes and maybe he had to be somewhere, right? So it was like I should just calm down, I should not cry and all of these things. Throughout the day, that was what I was thinking about. But eventually I was just okay, and I just tried to take care of my mind, right? I was going on the next day. So now Saturday came, my dad came to school. He picked me up. We went home. My mom was home, and then she was, I don't know if I mentioned it, but the part that was making me cringe the most was the part where everybody had to touch my breast to check what was happening, and they just wanted to feel the lump, right? So my mom got home and she was like, let me see. Then she checked and she felt it, and all of a sudden, I don't know how that just happened to my back literally started aching me, and I could not walk. Like, I could not stand up straight. I could not do anything. Everything was just wrong with me that day, and I'm like, what's happening? I started thinking about my life again, because I realized that my doctor was a man, and I was in SS2. How old was I can't remember, but at that point I was just, everything was just bothering me, and I was just really shy about the whole thing. And I'm like, so he's going to have to check my breast, he's going to have to, I was just really thinking about it, and I was just really cringing hard. I did not know what to do, but obviously it was a family doctor, and it was the one that was going to have to check it, obviously. So yeah, we're there, and then my dad was like, okay, let's go to the hospital later in the evening. So we left home, we got to the doctor, and I was just being really, really worried, because I was shy, and so many things were going through my mind. I was still small. I'm still small. Anyways, he told me to remove my clothes, and then he checked. I was, the way that I check for lumps, obviously. And then he was like that, I think he said something like it was an inflammatory lump. Because I don't know, now that I think about it, I've been checking Google since like that time, and anytime I check for inflammatory lump, Google is always bringing out inflammatory breast cancer. I do not have breast cancer, God forbid.
Sátánì, Olúwa bá ọ wí dẹ̀yìn lẹ́yìn mi. Dẹ̀yìn Sátánì dẹ̀yìn lẹ́yìn mi o.
No, God forbid. So I don't know, but basically I think it meant something like the lump was not very serious, like, and it was good that I spoke up on time. Now I feel like I spoke up on time because this thing was literally hurting. If it wasn't, I would not even have noticed, because I don't just sit around every day and decide that today I'm going to check for lumps. I mean, I check a lot every time after that experience, but I don't just check every time. I think it was because this one was really hurting. That was why I noticed on time. Shai was like, it was not very serious. I did not need surgery at that point. And then he gave me drugs. And after that, got home, took my drugs, and I think after like a few days or a few weeks, I did not feel anything again. So I was just really lucky. Now I feel like it could have been worse. I could have had to go through surgery. I could have had to have my breast cut off. But I did not. And I feel like I should actually be very grateful. I'm just remembering the whole thing now that I'm talking about it. I can't remember the last time I thought about it. And it's just been really, I don't think I thank God enough for this type of things, because it could have been worse. So yeah, that's my short and scary story. It was not serious. I did not have to go through surgery, but yeah, it happened, and it was very scary when it did. If you're subscribed, please, I don't know what you're waiting for, subscribe to my channel. Alright, thank you, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.